Things at Celsius are not looking good. This is something that I've done a review on my channel before, and I do have some assets on. We just learned that Celsius has paused all all withdrawals from their accounts. This is really troubling. I was actually on a Splinterlands video ready to go, but I felt like this video takes precedent. It's pretty important. It's not looking good, guys. It's possible some of us that are in Celsius are going to lose some money. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to do a reaction video to someone else's Coffeezilla's video on today's Frugal BC. What's up, guys? Wish I had good news for you today. There's some rough news going on. Now, I've told you that bear markets can be challenging, but they're also where you make money. But the one thing where that doesn't apply is when the company that you have money in collapses, and that looks like what is happening at Celsius. It's not good. I was gonna, I'd break it down. I've done some reading on what's happening. Basically, they're not able to keep up with they're worried about keeping up with the withdrawals. They're not taking in enough through payments payments on loans that they lend out to pay back the withdrawals, because a lot of people are withdrawing, which by the way, is ordinarily I would say that is not what you should be doing right now. You should not be selling crypto. And it's scary because now this is one of the reasons why I've said a couple things. I said I'm one of the few crypto YouTubers that tells you not to put all your money in crypto. A lot of people do. Bitcoin Crypto is one of them. There's one I follow, but I disagree with a lot of that. I think you should be diversified. It's another reason why I like Lofty too. It's like another source of income and another crypto project, but that's not also tied to the real world assets. I really preach diversity, and this is one of the reasons why. I'm going to lose some money in this, but it's not everything. Imagine if I had all my money on Celsius, and we don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. Just to be clear, Celsius could pull through this. Hopefully they just won't abscond with everybody's money, but this is not looking good. So I wanted to react. I was gonna dig up some more info on this, but actually Coffeezilla did such a great job. This is a great video. And I don't know if you've been watching his videos. He does great like crypto investigations, far more depth than I could do at this point. I hope to reach his level one day, because it's just really good stuff. So I'm going to let Coffeezilla take it. We're going to watch some of his stuff. So just 1 second.
Multi-billion-dollar crypto bank is collapsing, and I'm here to explain why.
Celsius Network.
Celsius Network.
This platform is Celsius Network.
Definitely is one of the big ones in the crypto space.
Joining me now is Celsius founder and CEO Alex Mashinsky.
The core business is to challenge conventional banking.
Where holders can find decent yield at a time when traditional savings accounts pay almost nothing.
How is it that by doing nothing, I can hold the USD stablecoin and earn close to 10%?
Let me stop you right there. You can't. Today, we're answering all the questions. What is Celsius? Why is it collapsing? And why don't they just convert it to Fahrenheit, honestly? Well, I'm here to answer. Celsius is a place where you can deposit your cryptocurrencies in exchange for interest payments. And they will turn around and give out loans and charge interest on that as well. And if that sounds like a bank to you, depositing and lending money, I should clear that part up right away. Celsius says they're not a bank because banks are bad.
Yeah, so this is something that they say, and he's going to pick on this a little bit, and I think that's a pretty fair criticism, to be honest. If you're taking in deposits and making them out, you are a bank. Now, there's one thing that he leaves off that's part of Celsius's plan that I'm going to talk about. We'll get to that too. It's not just the lending mechanism that brought in money to pay those interests, but also they've said this in the past that they also mine some cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, but that's also down because when the price is way down, you're just not bringing in as much as you were before. So this might be one of the problems, because that was one of the reasons. If it was just based on lending, I might have been more concerned about it. I was a little less concerned about it because it seemed like a pretty good strategy to, bring in these rewards from Bitcoin mining, and they're a big enough company they can handle that. That's a pretty easy way to pay out a percentage for some people. But let's go back to it.
Banks are not your friends. We all know that. And we decided to create $1 million back to the community.
Wow. That guy you just heard speaking is Alex Mashinsky. And nobody hates banks more than this guy. I mean, look at his shirt. How could his company, Sugar, then later gives back a cup and a tablespoon more? That, yet whether it will survive this crash or what for their lending so much as it is digital dollars, which it's kind of hard to say that lending digital dollars and lending regular dollars are not pretty similar things. Again, I think most people would say the rules should apply to them, especially since Celsius is now collapsing and we do not know yet whether it will survive this crash or what will happen to its 25 billion cups of sugar. But of course, the big question is, what is causing this collapse? Well, it turns out for the past few months, people have been worried about Celsius's ability to repay customers back their withdrawals, partially because of the insane yields that they were paying out. For example, if you were to deposit like $1 at a bank, you get a fraction of a percent of interest every year. On the other hand, if you deposited 1 Tether or USDC at Celsius, they were paying 9% per year on your money. That's the same amount of money, and Celsius is paying out 100 times the interest rate on that exact same deposit, basically. And the question is, how is that possible, right? Is this thing too good to be true? If it is, when is it going to collapse? Well, the founder, Mashinsky, has been telling everyone that it's not too good to be true. In actual fact, the reason this is possible is because banks equal bad and Celsius equal good.
That's part of it. He also, there was supposed to be institutional lending going on as well, but yeah, it's a funny thing that he says, like basically he's not a bank. At some point, I mean, I guess you're an exchange, but you're not really exchanging. So basically it is a bank.
And it's the traditional finance system that's ripping people off by taking their deposits, using them to make money, and then claiming it can only pay tiny interest rates. Somebody is lying, Mashinsky said. Either the bank is lying or Celsius is lying. Oof, that aged poorly, didn't it? Because despite him claiming that everything was fine, things under the surface weren't actually so great. See, at least in theory, the idea of Celsius isn't like totally insane, right? Banks do give tiny interest rates compared to what they make. And Celsius was charging fairly high interest rates to borrow their crypto. Like to borrow a stablecoin, they would charge 12%, which is more than they were paying to deposit. But the real problem is that no bank or new age finance company can ever loan out 100% of what they have as deposits. The reason is that if you lent out every dollar you took in, you'd have nothing left to pay withdrawals back with. And so you're left in this sort of conundrum. On the one hand, you want to loan out as much as possible to get the interest to pay your depositors, but on the other hand, you need to keep enough on hand to pay for withdrawal. And that's all money that you're not making interest on, which makes this whole thing kind of a weird balancing act. Lend too much, you can't meet withdrawals. Lend too little, you're losing money every month. Now, perhaps to solve this money problem, Celsius created their own crypto token called Cell, which the people could invest in. This token, in theory, was supposed to lube the whole system up and make it work smoothly like a finely tuned engine. It could provide liquidity where they needed it. Actually, they literally described the system as a wheel, according to Mashinsky, a wheel of fortune that keeps on giving.
Yeah, so much for that wheel of fortune, right? Sounds like a wheel of disaster right now. So that's part of it. The Cell coin was also supposed to be part of their backup plan. So if they had any problems, they could just sell the Cell coin and make some money back. The problem is, you know, these crypto, it's not like one cryptocurrency goes way up while the rest go down, or vice versa. They all kind of, when there's a bear market, they all go down. And this sounds like the company that did not plan for a bear market. And that is the problem. What's interesting though, is Celsius is not the only company that does this. Pretty much all the crypto exchanges, Gemini, FTX, they all have these interests. This is one of the problems. And he just kind of summed up the three-legged wheel there. Is like that's the issues with what they do. This is why this is collapsing right now. Now they have paused all withdrawals. I just wanted to try it just this afternoon, just before I recorded this video. It did not work. I got the little, I had to agree to new terms of service too to even access my account, which I'm sure are favored in their direction, but you could not access your account unless you sign this. So that voids the contract, by the way, in my opinion. I'd have to consult with the attorney, but I'm pretty sure if you're forced to sign rules to even access your account. I don't think that would hold up in court, but I'm not an attorney. I know better. So I'd love if there are any attorneys in my office. I'd love to hear that. It seems like a contract under duress, in my opinion. But yeah, so this is really not good. This is a dangerous situation. I'm really worried about it. This is also why I've been saying to diversify, and thankfully they stopped their lending program, their percentage program a month ago. I don't think he mentions that in the video. They actually stopped this under, I think, some SEC pressure, maybe, God, was it 2 months ago? And I thought about pulling all my stuff out, but I said anything I knew I bought, I just kept in my Coinbase account. Now I do wish I pulled it out at that time. The thing is, you keep earning if you keep earning on it, on the stuff that you were already earning on. You just couldn't earn on new stuff, and no new person could come in and earn it. Boy, yeah, I wish I would have taken out then. But there's got to be some rules against them just being able to shut it down like that. They're saying they're trying to figure it out. So just to give you some hopium, I really hope they do figure it out. It's pretty bad. I hope they find a way to get through so people can get their money back, because I'm going to try to share this one little spot because he talks about people putting like their life savings in it. Never put your life, first off, don't put your life savings in crypto. And I've said this over and over and over. This should be extra money that you have to play around with. This should not be your life savings. It's a pretty small percentage of my portfolios in crypto. It's fun. I think it's really interesting. I think this technology is the future, but it doesn't mean all the projects are going to make it. In fact, probably a lot of them are not. And you're going to see projects, now that we're coming into the bear market, you're going to see projects going in a bad direction. So some of these projects are going to collapse. That's just the way it is in a bear market. Not everything's going to make it. I'm going to show you this one little clip before I go, because I think it's pretty sad, to be honest.
Quote, as part of a contest in which customers shared their Celsius story, many said they entrusted Celsius with their life savings.
Don't do that.
Took out home equity and cashed in his work pension and his savings for his kids' education to put the money into the company accounts. I mean, this is rough, guys. It reminds me a lot of the Luna situation where people just dump ridiculous amounts of their money into it.
Yeah, it's that stuff breaks my heart, man. I don't know if I ever shared this story, but I first got into crypto around 2017, and I bought some Bitcoin, I bought some Ethereum, I think I bought some Litecoin too. Those were the big three. And I don't know if there weren't that many available yet on Coinbase. There was only a handful of coins available, as I recall. And so I was buying into those like in summer of 2017. Well, as you know, in the fall, it skyrocketed. You know, the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything shot up. And it was crazy to watch, you know, the small little bit of money you put in turn into a whole lot of money. Then I started following people's behavior. And when I read about how somebody was like borrowing money on collateral, borrowing money to buy Bitcoin at all-time highs, I said, this is a bubble. Things are going nuts. I've got to get out of this. And I started selling off, eventually sold everything. And guess what happened? It crashed. It started coming down a little bit. And I said, okay, time to sell. This bubble's popping. And I didn't know about the Bitcoin cycles, but I basically timed it unbeknownst to me. I don't want to take any credit like I'm some genius or something, because I definitely am not. And I don't think anybody who claims to have prediction powers is a genius. They're usually idiots that want to fool people. But yeah, I sold right before the bear market hit. And I had pretty much what I did, 500, 600% on average of my money, put it into index funds and forgot about crypto. And then, of course, it shot up again. So, but that was a while. That was, you know, I started buying back in a little bit. It was way down, and I thought, oh, I should probably put a little bit into this again, because I was thinking about long term how much it had gone up, even in the bear market, you know. And then it took off again. But that's I was waiting for that big, you know, Big Boy Crypto was talking about that big top, and I was waiting for it. It never happened, because people can't predict it. Stop pretending people can predict this stuff. They can't. Now this is a blow. It's going to suck. I'm thinking there's a good chance I probably won't get my money out of Celsius at this point. I hope I'm wrong. More for other people's sake than mine. You know, it'll suck. I'll lose a few thousand, but I'll be fine. I got plenty of other assets. It's a very small part of my portfolio. It's not even half of my whole crypto portfolio, but it still sucks. And I hope they work this out. But the lesson here is do not trust one platform. If it's too good to be true, usually it's crypto, but it's hard to say some stuff. But be mindful and don't ape all in. It's always tempting when you're getting returns on something. You think this is awesome. Why not put all my money in here? Don't do it. Don't be like, oh, that poor guy. Put his like kids' college savings in there. Just don't do that stuff, man. This should be extra. This is like money that you would go buy something stupid. You go buy something stupid with. You go buy a fancy dinner or a vacation with. Something you would do something fun with it. Don't be really mindful of this stuff. That's my lesson. Stay the course, guys. Bear markets are where these things are made, but you might want to stick with. I'm sticking with Coinbase unless it's an Algorand wallet or a private wallet. The yields aren't worth the risk in this case. So we'll keep you updated. I'm going to keep an eye on the Celsius situation. I'll be taking down. I don't know if I have a referral code on any of my links, but I will be taking that down as soon as I can. So stay safe out there, guys. We'll see you in the future.